Welcome to a brand new episode of the Indulge Podcast with me, Romal Laisram. We've got someone very, very special with us today on the show. I've got designer Amritha Ram from Kamal Haasan's house of Khaddar. Amritha Ram is a prolific designer who's based out of both Chicago and Chennai and has a lot to her credit, including working on many, many amazing films like Mungamudi, Vetrimaran's Vada Chennai, and now also on Indian 2. But she's also the creative head for House of Khaddar by Kamal Haasan. And so today we'll be talking to her about fashion, her love for Khadi, and lots more. Hi and welcome to the show.
Hi, pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction.
I'm so happy that you could find time to come here. We know you're super busy. You're shooting for Big Boss. Yes. You're doing a lot of other work and a brand new collection, a brand new edit from House of Khaddar. So let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about the brand new collection.
This collection is all about, this was a post-pandemic collection. We launched House of Khaddar fall winter when we were in the middle of the pandemic. And it was fall winter, so we had to stick to the palette. And then we wanted to do something very, very different with Khadi. See, when you say Khaddar, it's synonymous with neuter tones or, basic silhouettes. We wanted to break that. To start with. And the post-pandemic mindset for everybody is everyone wanted to get dressed, including you, you would have done everything from home.
Absolutely.
Home come, office come, everything.
Absolutely.
So, you don't find the need to dress up. So, we were like, something that's going to really bring everybody out. So, we decided to make it pop. And, that was just a decision because, we had to dye the colors. We use organic dyes. And then, to do all these pop colors was like a challenge. Some came through, some did not. And because it's hand woven, sometimes it doesn't fall through seamlessly, the dyeing. So it took us like 1 month of just the dyeing process, going back and forth to decide on the colors. And yet we didn't arrive on the right green, so we had to avoid that. But then as we were doing that, we came across this whole denim and Khaddar together. And Kamal sir always believes in experimenting, he was, all the firsts in the film industry, mostly, they basically belong to him. So he was like, why don't you rubberize this? Why don't you use dandelion? Why don't you use lycra? And then, in the middle of all this, I was like, okay, let's pick something that's easiest, tried and tested. So people have tried cotton with denim and everything. So we thought it was going to be easier. And the best part of it is it takes dye so well.
Oh, wow.
The absorption is so good and it doesn't bleed as much as cottons.
That's such a
that's
amazing to hear.
That's such a great thing. Yeah. So I was like, whoa, so this is going to be the collection.
As a Khadi lover myself, I know about bleeding.
So. You know about how it bleeds. Yeah. And indigos, sometimes they just keep bleeding.
Absolutely.
So we carry 2 tags when we sell it in the United States because you know how they are about selling and fabric bleeding and everything. But then, we are people, who've gone through the bleeding Madras phase in the 70s when, it became a trend.
Absolutely.
So, I never knew of this because, 70s was just the time around, I guess, when I was born. But then when I was researching for Vada Chennai, I found that, bleeding Madras was very, very famous.
Yes, very popular.
So, very popular then, very late that, I came to know of it. But then I was like, wow, this doesn't bleed that much.
Nice.
So, it absorbed everything very well. So, the motive of the collection came through. It was make it pop. Everything popped. And then the silhouettes were very, very Western. We're still not into Indian. Not that we cannot do Indian. There are so many other people who are doing Indian.
Absolutely.
And I just want to prove that, there is so much fluidity in the fabric. It's about how you want to mold it. It's very simple. It's like how the director wants to mold the artist and the character. So, and that's how, we called it, because it was Khaddar and denim woven, we called it woven Weft.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so but before all of that, before we get into the silhouettes, tell us about how this partnership with Kamal Haasan happened.
It was just by chance, when Sir had just completed Vishwarupam through a common friend. I got to know that he was looking for somebody to style him for Vishwarupam promotions. And I was like, haha, cool and everything. And then we were going to leave for DSP's USA tour. 2 weeks
DSP,
later.
our dear listeners, is by the way Devi Shri Prasad.
Yeah, Devi Shri Prasad, the rock star, Devi Shri Prasad, yeah. So we were like prepping for that, and we were at a studio here in Valasalvakam, and then I received a call from Kamal Sir's manager saying, can you come and meet him in 1 hour? And I was like, what? I mean, you know, it's not about anything else, you know, it's just about that, oh my God, you know, it's Kamal Sir. And then I went and met him, and I was so nervous. And then he said, yeah, you can do my measurements. And I was like, literally shivering, you know.
I can totally imagine.
Yeah, that doesn't happen to me at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
who does it happen to?
I know, it doesn't happen to anyone. And then it was like, and then I said, you know what, it's normal to be like this with Kamal Sir. And then I had just about 36 hours, and Sir wanted about 15 looks. So I said, I think I can manage about 7 to 8. And then the rest, if you don't mind, sir, I can send it over wherever you are. And then he was cool. So I tried on Kanali and Hugo Boss from here. And then he went to Mumbai. I spoke to Shantanu Nikhil. I got something done. He went to Delhi. I got something done from Antaragni. So, you know, everything fell into place. You know, it was a little bit of sporty. It was a little bit of contemporary. Antaragni and was something he had never worn before.
Fabulous brand, by the way. Yeah.
Fabulous. I love them. You know, recently also for the Vikram Success Meet at Dubai, I used them.
Very nice.
And I mean, very, very, I'm a huge lover of contemporary, you know, in terms of dance, in terms of clothing, everything. And these silhouettes, you know, though they are contemporary, they are asymmetric, you know, they still drape very well.
Absolutely.
Draping is a beautiful process in clothing, you know, which I like really,
we should
really
boomerang
love.
back to the story though.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes, Kamal Haasan.
So, and then I started working with him in Big Boss and everything. And then one such episode. So, in the middle of Big Boss, I also do my other films. So, I was shooting for a Telugu film in Hyderabad where my shoot extended for 2 days extra. And then, you know, here the thing is, Sir does not like to work too much in advance, you know, like. There are some people, you know, who might shortlist 5-6 outfits. So you're good for like 2-3 weeks. But so I'll be like, you're done with 2 outfits, right? Let's do it the next week. And then he'll just walk off, and then I'm like, so, okay, you can't say anything more. So I came across Khadi. I have not seen and felt the fabric the way I did that day.
Okay.
It was probably just the spur of the moment or whatever. And then I said, but I can't do anything with this. It was just white. I said, you know, I'll have to add some drama to this. And I dyed it ombre.
Lovely.
So to keep it very safe, I did a grey to black. Because, you know, shades of browns, olives and blacks are safest with sun.
Absolutely.
So I dyed this, but I hadn't made it. So I met Sir and I was like, Sir, do you want to take a look at this fabric? And then he's like, whoa, this is gorgeous. I mean, I meant the dye. I was like, what about the fabric? He says, it's one step more. And then I was like, wow, really? You know what this is? This is Khadi. And then, you know, he went back and he said, my dad wore Khaddar coats to the court. And he was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. And everyone responded to it so well that I asked Sir, why don't we try 2-3 more weeks of Khaddar? He said, I am cool. And then we spoke to the director. And he was also like, Amritha, I mean, it's just your patterning, you know, I don't care whatever fabric you use. So just go ahead and do this. And every week, you know, people kind of, after the second episode, you know, the contestants were like, Sir, are you wearing Khaddar?
Wow.
So it kind of, I was like, wow, so this is working. And I said, we should do more with this, you know, in terms of, you know, having our own brand and having our own label. So I was like, go ahead. Do it. But I said, no, not yet. I'm not ready with it. So then because, you know, with men's silhouettes, I'd experimented everything with them. But then I want to try, you know, how it fit on women, how we did trenches, how, you know, it caught up with fusing, you know, so many technical things. And then I said, just give me 2-3 more weeks. And then I worked on it and I was like, so I'm ready. So he's like, the finale was just 1 week later. He's like, you're sure you're ready? Because I'm going to announce it in the finale. Because I was like, what?
Wow.
So soon? So everything happened like really soon. But his love for Indian fabrics was way back when I was studying in New York. I would always prefer to use Indian fabrics for all my assignments. Indian fabrics or Indian borders or Indian handwork. Because I mean, we are so rich, every region we have our own produce, we have our own trademark, and then, handwork, everything. So this whole Indo-Western thing is something, that has been with me for a very, very, very long time. So yeah, I mean, it just, KHHK just happened. I think it was time that it happened.
So I think it's time now to explain to our listeners why you say Khaddar and not Khadi. What's the difference really?
No, it's the same. The fabric is Khaddar. It is originally called Khaddar. But, they...
it's officially come to known as Khadi.
Yeah, the Khadi is the other... And all the other brandings of Khadi are called Khadi.
Yeah.
So which is why we chose
another
name as Khaddar.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you were in New York and you were working with a lot of Indian fabrics, how did the American audience take to a fabric like Khadi?
They loved it. And well, one instance was in the Paris Fashion Week when we were doing our fittings. And I mean, you write about your brand outside and everything.
We should tell our listeners that they debuted at the Paris Fashion Week earlier this year in March.
Yeah. So, and then, when they kind of read a brief, they would come and feel the fabric. And I felt so good that the fabric was taking all the space and all the attention it deserved. Right?
Nice.
I mean, they reacted so well. Also, the other thing was, they normally say it wears very well with all the climates. It keeps you warm in winter and then it keeps you
cool in summer.
So we launched in Chicago winters, and you know how Chicago winters are. And the place where we were launching, there was no parking there. So I had to walk about, let's say 50 feet. He had to walk. And he was wearing a 3-piece Khaddar. Nothing, no sweaters, no trenches, nothing. Because, he already had a trench, that was his 3rd piece. And he said, I was absolutely comfortable walking in that winter. And I was like, wow, so someone practically feels it. And that's how everybody felt. So we had pop-ups. We had 3 different launches. And then we had pop-ups everywhere. And I think in the pop-ups, the 3 days together, we sold about 120 pieces, which is very, very big thing in the United States.
Absolutely.
Considering the fact that, and most of them were local Americans, they were not Indians. Why I'm mentioning that they're not Indians is, then they would buy it for the love of comfort.
Absolutely.
So it was not that. They just tried on. I have random pictures of people just trying it on, whatever they wore.
Wow.
And then they bought it. And then, it feels so good.
Of course,
a fabric with so much history. And, it indirectly works on the livelihood of so many people.
So true. True. Yeah.
So, which is why we choose to source directly from the weavers.
Super.
So, first we thought Srikakulam and Karimnagar have so many weaving
clusters,
clusters and communities. And so in the longer run, when we went to shoot for our video, we said we'll go and shoot only in Karimnagar because that's where we got our fabrics. And so I was like, we need to start adopting this and, create a kind of entire community base for these people, including educational institutions and hospitals and everything.
Super.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's all that matters, right?
That's
a
360-degree kind of
and this is an art that they do. Spinning this wonderful fabric is an art by itself, as much as what we do. So, yeah.
What a lovely story. Okay, quickly now moving on to what I wanted to talk about. Now, you're one of the few Khadi brands, as you said, that does Indo-Western silhouettes.
Yeah.
How does Khadi translate to a silhouette like that?
It does beautifully. The fabric is so fluid. It's like, do whatever you want with me. Experiment with me. It calls you out loud. And it's taken everything. I've done everything from mini skirts to cargo pants to jackets to trenches. In fact, we participated at the recent trade show in Vegas. It's one of the biggest trade shows in the world, the Magic. So we sold most of our jackets and trenches.
Wow.
And, apart from the boho stuff, I had a very small capsule because we were going all the way there. And, we also wanted to offer a little more of prints and everything. And, we also tried printing on Khadi. And we do different counts of Khadi, right from the 40 to 60 to... So we tried printing on the 60. So it comes out like soft mull.
Wow.
It's gorgeous, you
I can
have
just
to feel the
imagine it.
fabric.
Yeah.
So that is not something, we had already introduced
Mhm.
here, that was specially made for Vegas. But, it takes everything so beautifully, especially this whole denim thing, which we
Mhm.
presented at Paris. It was gorgeous.
We have to talk about that. Now,
Yes.
how did you come across this wonderful idea to mix khadi and denim?
It's all there with Kamal sir. I've read about it. I've read about Levi's, using very less water. It's called the Levi's thread
Yes,
and everything.
yes.
And then you keep coming across articles or everything.
Mhm.
And so I was like, we should start something. We should rubberize this. We should add this. So I was like, what is the simplest? The simplest is to do this. And then I found people to do this.
How nice.
And then it just happened, I will send you the raw swatches of
Would
the
love
Khadi
to take a
denim
look.
with all the counts and everything. You should feel it.
Wow.
It's an experience, it's like I say, Khadi is an emotion, basically.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, because, it's like, it's a fabric which started off with a purpose.
Mhm.
And then the people who do this fabric, they're going, like Sir says, they're in the lowest echelon.
Mm.
And, it's close to becoming extinct.
Mm.
See, we are not trying to do it just like that, the fashion remains intact,
Mhm.
style remains intact, yet you're able to do something
nice.
that makes
Got it.
something.
Let's quickly talk about your first collection, Nannul. Such a lovely
Yes.
name. Tell us about how that happened.
Yes. So, Nannul, as I told you, we were launching in Chicago. It was a fall-winter. So, we had muted palettes.
Mhm.
And then we had trenches. And it was all about layering.
Mhm.
So, that's still one of my favorites.
Okay.
I was
Your
supposed
first,
to wear something.
obviously,
Yeah. That's still one of my favorites because
Mhm.
it wears so well. And recently, there's this Hollywood actor called Mackenzie Westmore, who's the daughter of Mr. Michael Westmore, Oscar-winning makeup artist.
Okay.
So we went to visit her in LA. And then I just gifted it to her. And she said, I showed it to my producer. And she's doing the Bay series. And my producer loved it so much, he's already worn it on one episode.
Wow.
And, she has chosen more.
Mhm.
And she's like, I'm going to wear it for the entire series.
Wow.
I know, it feels so good.
Yep. Yep.
So that was Nannul.
Mm.
So I gifted her Nannul because, it came in the middle of the pandemic. So I thought, it didn't get the attention
It
was supposed
deserved.
to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then with all other high street brands here, people are like, but you have only 10 designs. I was like, but that's all you need. The concept is layering. And then, you can create your own pattern.
Absolutely.
Instead of
absolutely.
having, which is why this collection of Make It Pop, it was vast.
Mhm.
Also because we were going for a trade show,
Mhm.
we were going to meet buyers from different, from East, West, Midwest. We want to have that variety. But Nannul will still remain one of my favorites. Like you said, one, because it was our first collection,
Mhm.
and two, because I am basically, I love layering.
Mhm.
So even if you see Kamal sir's Big Boss, it'll always be in layers, mix, match.
Absolutely.
And I do not put, I've done a lot of editorials, which are my favorite.
Mhm.
Because, when you do
Noted.
movies, when you do movies, it's a character.
Absolutely.
The director etches out the complete character bio, and then the DOP has something to offer, and then you just put everything together, you just bring it together. But here it's just you.
The
And
easel is
how-
all yours.
Totally. So how I do it is I bring everything onto the floor,
Mhm.
and then I just work from there.
How nice.
So
Yeah.
so this concept of layering, I think, with more lookbooks and tutorials, I think it'll come through. So I have always mentioned that Nannul will be a part of our collection always,
Very
because
nice.
these are classics which you can wear over anything.
Absolutely.
Just wear a denim and throw it on.
Mhm.
Wear a Henley inside, keep it casual. Wear a turtleneck. Keep it formal. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, now with
That's all
WAP
about
and Weft,
Nannul.
when are we going to see it and be able to feel it?
In the next 2 weeks, see, these are technical things. It was so difficult to work with a website designer out here.
Absolutely.
Everything is ready.
Mhm.
But, we have technical issues with our website because I wanted to come out a certain way. And then with completely different time zones. I'm willing to work in their time zone, but by the time they make something, so I was like, okay, I'm going to come back and do it. So I would say latest would be 2 weeks.
So we're going to see some pop-ups around the country?
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
And then I have also, so we've started sending out hampers to everyone. And then I think Tapsi, she loved it. So she called for it the second time too. The first time, she wore a pop green jacket once again from our Paris Fashion Week. And then she wore a quad, for the premiere of her movie. We're going to be sending out this to more actors. Andrea wore it. Actually, Andy's very, very close to me, as you all know. I've worked with her since Vada Chennai. So she came to support me for the Paris Fashion Week.
How nice.
So she wore our Letterman crop. So she's worn it. And then, soon you'll have a lot more people wearing it. I mean, I was the one who was very, very skeptical about sending it out, and I said, please don't do it till I come back, because it's the first time it's going out to somebody, it should go out with the right feel. So
we've noticed the varsity jackets.
Oh yeah,
fabulous. So how did that idea come about?
It was to be very honest, the varsity was not even planned.
Oh wow.
So I pick up all my zippers and closures, buttons, everything from New York. Okay, only because when you sell it to anybody, whether it's the local market or the international market, there are certain things which I find, very difficult as a designer, when I put it on my actors.
Absolutely.
So I just went there and then I saw these letters. And that's when, I was like, Letterman.
Nice.
I swear, I had, that's how I work, it's more spontaneous. And then I said, let's do the Letterman. So I called Sir, I didn't buy them yet. So I was like, so he's like, you are the mind behind this. And I was like, no, but you're going to be the first person who's going to be wearing it. So we're going to be sending out a lot of Lettermans to everybody soon, because that's something I want to really. And when you have, because normally these Letterman jackets or the varsity jackets are very heavy.
Absolutely.
Because they are like,
they're meant to be durable.
Quilted.
So
they're quilted inside or they're made of leather. We are making them of Khadi denim.
How interesting.
And that's so soft, Our linings are very specific to regions. With India, we have a different lining fabric. With the United States, we have a different lining fabric. Because, you cannot push the same on everything.
Absolutely.
And we're not mass producing, right? So you have all the space to do it. So I'm basically very, very excited. I wanted to wear a varsity today, but then all my suitcases were packed. I overslept and then I was like, okay. So it's all there, but thank you very much. It's such a lovely coverage.
So it is going to have
excited.
It's going to have the K and the H at the back.
It's going to have KH or KHHK or just K.
Very nice.
Just H. So it'll be between the 4 letters.
Okay.
So in fact, for the Big Boss promo too, Sir's doing a Letterman.
Ooh.
He wanted one. He said, I want to do one of this.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
Exactly.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you're planning next? Just a sneak peek.
Yes. I'm very excited because we've received an invitation from the New York Fashion Week,
Wow.
the autumn edit, which is going to be by the Hudson River.
How lovely. And this
I know,
is
how lovely.
October?
So, this is October.
Nice.
This is on October 19th. So I'm super excited. So I want to do something red carpet-ish.
Super.
So straight out there, we've done.
Please give us a Khadi ballroom gown, please.
Absolutely. So I see next year Oscars and Emmys, we want to be there.
Absolutely.
So
you should.
Is just, exactly. And with sustainability ruling the roost out there, and we tick all the right boxes: zero waste, zero carbon, everything. So I just imagine, 19th is the show and I'm just planning it. But that's going to be one of what's coming up. So apart from this autumn collection at New York, I'm planning a little festive edit.
Nice.
Something that's going to be very, very original. Keep the originality of the fabric, no dyeing anything, but add our very, very famous Zardosi.
Lovely.
That's going to be a little festive edit, and I hope fingers crossed I'll have time to do it.
Oh, that sounds super
with all
exciting.
the movies and everything, because everything is begun now, one shot.
Absolutely.
There's Big Boss, there's Indian show, there's the other film. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Yeah,
Now we
thank
come to the best
you.
part of this show, the part that I look forward to the
Okay.
most. It's my rapid fire.
Whoa.
So, okay, you have to answer
Very bad.
fast.
Of course. Have I ever thought in between?
Yeah. So I
okay.
think you're going to be the first person who actually answers rapidly, which is very
Hopefully,
cool. Yeah. Okay. So let's go.
Yeah, keep it simple.
What is the vegetable you think you resemble the most and why?
Carrot.
Why?
No
thinking,
thin,
just
no, very thin. The color.
You're orange. Is that what
I'm
you're saying?
not orange. I do a lot of blush. So everyone makes fun
Fair
of me.
enough.
Yeah, so I mean, जब मैं caravan के अंदर जाती हूँ, so makeup man's like, हाँ अमृता जी perfectly लगा दिया, नहीं आज थोड़ा कम हो गया, तो yeah,
Super.
that's why. Yeah.
Okay, what do you do before you sleep? The last thing you do.
The last thing, check my phone.
Okay, what do you do when you wake up? The first thing you do.
Check my phone.
Wow, so unhealthy.
So annoying, right? But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
everyone at my place is annoyed.
Okay, what is your favorite dish? The comfort food that you go to?
Aloo and rasam.
Wow, very
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. What?
Aloo as in South Indian roasted spicy aloo.
So
Yeah,
urlakilangu roast.
Urlakilangu roast. I'm a
Got
proper tamra in my heart. Yeah, totally.
Totally get it. Okay. If you weren't a fashion designer and a TV host and the multiple things that you've done in your past, what do you think you would be?
I wouldn't have been anything because I was doing all this as a child.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I remember my mom telling me 8 years and 10 years, I used to go out Diwali shopping and everything. I used to pick colors for them. I used to ask for specific colors. And we come from a village. We also have a weaving place at Kanjivaram called Damal. So I would say, can you weave this for me in this color? So I'm sure I would have done something to do with this.
Nice.
Or had my own sari weaving store. Or,
still same area.
Textile. That's what I said. I wouldn't have done anything apart from these.
How nice.
And I talk so much all the time. So yeah, I think both these fit me best. Yeah.
Okay, what is your spirit animal and why? What animal do you think you resemble the most? No animal character?
I am not very, very pet friendly. Which is why I can't even think of anything. So yeah, I can't think of anything. Because I'm really not pet friendly at all. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of the rapid
Oh,
fire.
this is awesome.
Yeah, very short rapid fire.
Yeah, very short rapid fire. And I was very...
Yeah, you were on the spot. So well done.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Though I do want to know before we end, you've also been a TV host and you've done a multiple...
yes.
So tell us a little bit about that whole experience.
Oh, that was like, I met Avaswaram Ramji sir at a common friend's place. And then, I was like, I'm like this all the time, talking. So he was like, they were starting this television show called Daham, where you fulfill the fantasies of people. And he said, I need a brand new host who talks, just out of her mind. And I was like, I'm game. And then I had so much fun doing that show, show. And then after that, I didn't stick on too much to it. Number one, because I am completely not a cliche person. I can't do the same thing every day. So, and I need to be out doing something all the time. So, but I love talking. And that show was very, very different because I used to meet different people with different fantasies and then discussing that. And with Avaswaram Ramji sir, that quirky humor he had. Yeah, I loved it. And otherwise, I think that's what I do the best. If I'm not doing clothes, I think I can talk for a living.
Super.
I think I can talk for a living.
I think you
can't
can
say
do
that
too.
with you.
No, I think you can do that too. Super. That brings us to the end of this show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me over. It feels, this is a very gratifying experience, with KHHK that I have come one whole round.
Absolutely.
I started off, I'm very, very proud to be an Indian. And I went there because the time I started, I had a lot of things that didn't work for me here, which is why I went there. So I said, I'm going to come back with my own fabric to this place and sell it as good as yours. So this was what I told myself. And then, me coming one whole round. And when I talked to you all, it's a great experience. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you
That
so
brings
much.
us to the end of the show, listeners. Thank you for tuning in. This is Romal Laisram signing out from the Indulge Podcast. We'll be back next week with a great episode lined up for you. That's all. Bye-bye.
Signing off, Amritha.